Good. So now the week between Christmas and New Year's, we're not going to have Tai Chi. It is time for me to make good on my word if I will clean out the boxes in the basement.
Next week, Tai Chi.
Yeah, we're good this week.
Monday and Thursday.
Monday and Thursday, and then,
Okay, then that next week.
yeah. Feel your connection with the earth. May want to stand a little farther apart. Feel what's comfortable for you so you can really feel each foot's connection. Sometimes we stand so close together that we can't feel it. Spread out a little bit so you can. Now, if you want, Tai Chi can always be done seated. And it's not easier, it's just different. So if you want to do it seated, we can get some chairs from the room, and that will be just Jim Dandy fine. Okay. So, good morning. Good morning, Terry. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Georgia. I see what you dragged in.
Hi, Carrie.
Georgia, I was thinking about you and your witness protection plan last night. We had, but you weren't here, a few weeks back, I asked if I could take a picture of the group and if it was okay if people's faces were seen, I was going to put on Facebook or wherever. And from the back of the room, Georgia said, what about those of us in the witness protection plan? So
That's why she's wearing her mask.
that's where she's wearing a mask, so she won't be recognized. So we're just going to stand and feel, we want to keep our knees flexed at all times. The thing within Tai Chi, there are no stiff joints. So everything is just completely relaxed. We're just a piece of spaghetti, just al dente, I guess. So feel the connection of your feet with the ground. What we're going to do to start with is let our hands stay at the side. As I inhale, my hands are going to rise up, not quite to my heart, just a little bit. Then they're going to turn them and exhale and let them come down. When you inhale, try and keep it all down here and let it fill like a balloon from down here all the way up. Everything stays relaxed. So I'm inhaling. Then, ah. As we're doing this, you may feel your heels want to come off the ground as we come forward. And then as we exhale down, maybe the heels get nice and firm and the toes want to float up. And that's okay. It's a chance to just feel the connection with the earth, Mother Earth and the gravity holding us and keeping us steady. And feel our balance. Feel us being steady and secure on the earth. It's a good time to think about being like in the Bahamas or someplace, beautiful aqua-colored water, crystal clear. We're in that water down underneath where we can breathe. Maybe we have gills, I don't know, but we can breathe. And the sugar sand just wants to cuddle and hug our feet. The water, you can feel the pressure of the water like little hugs over every part of our body. So it's like water is giving us little hugs between our fingers, back of our hand, the front of our hand. We have not a care in the world. We just get to inhale up, let the water and gravity help my hands come back down. So feel that just. Maybe a boat goes by or something, the water moves and it lets us float up and down with it. Just feel very secure, cuddled and hugged by the water and the sand. Inhale and exhale. My sides, my hands are going to float up, come around in front of me like I'm hugging a tree. Say elbows get heavy and float back down. So we're in the water. We do not want to create ripples, so we can do it slowly. Everything is relaxed. The knees are bent gently. This part's called hugging the tree, and we sync the chi. Chi is our energy. So we do one more. We inhale and gather all the oxygen, energy we can. Hold it, and then just let it sink down throughout our body. So our feet, our knees, our legs, everything feels the energy, connection with the earth, warm water, gentle hugs. We have a care in the world, we're just floating along. Hug the tree, sink the chi. And my hands are going to rest down here on my legs. As I inhale, they're going to float up in front of my heart. And the elbows get heavy and everything just floats back down. Inhale. Let my hands sway. I'm going to go from one side, exhale across. Get over here on my inhale. And then just And as I do it, I feel my weight shift from one foot to the other. You feel one side come up as the weight goes. Like right here, the weight's over here, and this foot just let it come up a little bit. We let it. Right here, both hands are going to float out to one side. The elbows are going to get heavy and bring the hands closer. Inhale, let my hands float out. And like over that toe. Elbows get heavy. Inhaling. And then just So in Tai Chi, whenever we're going to move, we do it with empty. You think of yourself as a balloon. Now, when you inhale a balloon, trying to bend it in half is not easy. No, you'll pop. So right here, I inhale, I come in. As I fold this part of myself, I want that balloon to be empty. So whenever we use any of the muscles, we just let everything be empty. So there's absolutely no stress, no tension. Now both hands are going to float over, just going to sway back and forth a little bit. Again, feel the water around us. Sugar white sand is just cuddling our feet, holding us with gravity, nice and secure, steady. Here, both hands are going to float out over the toe on this side. Elbows come in. And when the elbows are in, I'm going to pivot my toe, put it out a little bit, just pivot it. Hands just follow that. Inhale as they come in. Doing it slowly, relaxed, gives you a chance to feel the muscles working. You can tell When does my back start working? When do my arms? And if you have a place where there's pain or discomfort, you'll feel where it is. Then you can just imagine inhaling and putting some more energy into that spot. Keep it relaxed. One more. And I come back to the middle again. Hug the tree. Sink the chi. In Tai Chi, we want everything relaxed. So our shoulders, if you just look around at people, when you're relaxed, you see the back of their hands. Everything is just like my chin is being held upright, the spine is straight, and everything else is just hanging loose. That hang loose. So we want to keep everything relaxed and loose. If you're going to step out, sometimes we do a lunge, which is like this. You can just watch. So there's an arc here. There's an arc here. Everything is bent, flexed, and we go like this, back and forth, shift the weight. If we're going to do that, and you're looking at the floor going, oh, that's way too far out. Just wherever you're at, then just turn your toe out, turn your heel out, so you get to wherever that lunge is, feels good. One of the things is that a lot of times it's easier to keep your balance and build strength for balance when your legs are farther apart than when they're like this. Like this, you're a pillar, you're a tower. Towers, trees, things like that can be knocked over, blown up. If we're out like this, or even like this, then we're like an arc. It's like the keystone in the arch keeps it upright. And it's hard to knock us over because we can flow. So, again, find a spot, and if you can, just heel toe out a little farther. You'll find it's easier to feel where's the weight. Weight's going to be over here. So if I'm swaying, now you may ask yourself, what is the big deal? Why is it important to feel the sway? When we're swaying, we're using the muscles in the hip joint, getting the more lubrication into the joint so it gets more flexible. So the sway is about building strength, flexibility in the hip, and the muscles right here. That helps us get out of the chair. I was talking to a lady yesterday, said, you know, we sit in the chair and then you have to get up, and it's like, okay, here we go. Come on, come on. 1, 2, 3, here we go. And sometimes the body's going. So it gives us the strength we need to be able to say, no chair is going to take over. I'm going to get up and just watch. So we want the strength, flexibility to be able to get up out of chairs, sit down and all that. So the sway looks like a little bit of nothing, but we're working these joints down here, the ankle joint, the knees, and just feeling the weight shift. Since we're in the water, there's absolutely no effort. You know, the water just takes us from over here. Inhale and just If your knees start to say, I'm tired of this business, I want to take a nap, then we do what's called dog wags its tail. If you remember the summer of 1958, that was my summer of the hula. I went down to Hempstead's general store, spent 89 cents, maybe a penny for tax, got a hula. So that summer, it was all about walking around. Now, dog wags the tail. Its tail is, you don't have to do the front part, but it's about shifting the weight with your rump first, and then come back over here, and then over here, and here. So when you get ready to shift, you kind of bend over. Since we're bending over, obviously we let the air out. Shift, inhale. When we do it this way, to go from side to side, do it slowly and feel what's working. What I feel is the muscles, not my glutes back here, but along the sides, area right about here, and through this joint, those ligaments, tendons, muscles that keep that joint nice and secure. That's what works. And you'll feel some of it in the back, coming down here. So we're working and strengthening the lower back by just letting the dog wags its tail. The other part of using dog wags its tail this way is it gives your knees a break. They're still involved, but they're not the main thing. The hip joint takes most of the action. So you'll feel your knees more relaxed. Basics of Tai Chi. Now let's come back around and hug the tree. Sink our energy down. Now open up to the heart. Then we'll come back in, we'll hug the tree, we'll sink the chi. Take a step out. Come up and hug the tree again. Open to the heart. Back. Let it float down. Here we're going, as we come in and hug, one hand's going to go right to my lap. It keeps kind of a curve. And this one comes on top in a curve. It's called embracing the moon. Since the moon is round, obviously we need to have curves. This one holds it, this one keeps it from wobbling. And we're going to inhale and let it go. Come back in on the other side. The other side holds it down below. Keep it from wobbling. There is no magic size for the moon. So if you have a shoulder or something that says this is not comfortable, drop your elbow, make it comfortable. Inhale. Embrace the moon. Inhale. Top hand's just going to rest. This hand's going to make a little arc. It's going to go from right here out to the other knee. And inhale back. In Tai Chi, we do a lot of letting the brain learn, make new connections, learn new ways to help. So for people that have Parkinson's, MS, have had small strokes, if one side of the brain is not as strong or connecting as well as it used to, because we go from the left side to the right side, it helps the brain make connections so that left, right work together. Okay, I'm going to inhale and embrace the moon again. As I make the arc, this hand's just going to drop straight down to my leg. I've got embracing the moon, drop down, make the arc. One of the key points of becoming people of a certain age is that we can say, oh, I can do that. I've done that for years. I remember back when I was 20, I did that stuff. And now your body's going, but this is not the 20-year-old body. We haven't thought about that. We haven't done it for a while. So sometimes things takes a little more time. Just give yourself time. The other thing is don't think about it. Whatever happens, happens. If you try and analyze it and say, I want to make it exactly right, then you're not allowing the brain to make new pathways, to make connections, to learn. The brain's going to learn simply by feeling the motion. If you're going to open to the heart, come in and brace them in on this side. Top hand's going to float down. I'm from here to this leg. I take a step out. I inhale in. Still have a great sway going there. Right here is going to come back around and brace them in. Top hand just drops down and the other makes it alive. This move is part of combing the horse's wild mane. Sometimes it's called parting the mane, brushing the mane, but you get the idea. You're just getting all the leaves and sticks and things that blew into the mane and got stuck. Getting rid of those. So it's like teeth on a comb, and we're just combing through the mane. We're going to come back around and hug the tree in the middle, sink the chi. Come over on this side, brace them in. Just let one hand drop. This one makes the arc. As we come back, we pick up that other hand and we brush the mane. Spread your fingers out like teeth on a comb. And we're going to open up to the heart, come around in front, hug the tree, and sink the chi. Again, filling up. Let it sink throughout our body. Open up to the heart. Now my hands are going to look for my own ball of chi. It's here somewhere. It's all different, so it won't look the same for me and you. But as you let the hands get closer, slowly, you'll feel the temperature of the air between them change. It's slight. It's not going to go 40 degrees. But there'll be a little change. And then about the same time it starts to feel a little warmer, it'll start to feel cushy. Kind of like there's a water balloon in there. I feel a little bit of a resistance, a little cushiness. And that's your chi. That's your energy ball. And we're just going to give it a ride. So first we're just going to sway from one side to the other with it. And sway using the dog wags its tail. And whatever you want to do. I'm going to roll it around. Let the other other side, be on top. We're going to take it on a trip around, kind of like we're stirring a great big pot. Inhale when we come close, then ah. I'm going to roll it around, go the other direction. One more. Hold it, look at it. I'm going to inhale as it comes up. It wants to go back, so I lean back just a little. And then I exhale and just float down. Not very far, just a little bit. Inhale it back up again. I'm just going to let it go off to the side. Back up. Now, one thing to be aware of with this, yesterday I was with a lady, and when she wanted to watch her hands, so she had them out here, and she was having problems with her shoulders and her back. So if you just assume the hands are going to stay there, and just tip, so they're more or less aligned with, shoulders right here. Inhale up, then tip. You'll feel it, then it's working the sides instead of the shoulders. Inhale when we get straight. And anytime we're bending or folding, we exhale. Let it go back a little bit again. And go wider. Now, as I come down this time, very slowly, I'm going to let my hips sink like I'm sitting in a chair at the same time, so I can sit it all the way down gently. Wherever down is for you. I'm going to inhale, let my hands come up the back of my legs. Up again. Then ah. One. As you come down, feel the connection with your foot. Feel where your weight is. Just be aware of it. As I come down, start to put my hips down like I'm sitting on a chair, edge of a table. Where's the weight on your feet? Does it sit back on your heels? The ball of your foot? Just be aware of where the weight is. One of the things about fall prevention and balance is being aware of what part of your foot is carrying the weight, how it feels. Inhale up. Around, hug the tree again. My hands come together, they're going to stack, one on top of the other. I come in a little bit. I'm still going to use my sway or my dog wagging the tail to keep all of this moving. But one hand is going to drop. It goes out. I've got a 45-degree angle right here. Folds in. I look at it and blow it away. So We're in the water still, so it just gently floats out. Floats in. Almost like I'm reaching up and getting a cup out the shelf, blowing or handing it to somebody. I'm going to do the other hand. So this one's going to float out. Floats in, blow it away. So as it reaches out, I'm going to inhale. It's called repulsing the angry monkeys or repelling the angry monkeys. Angry monkeys are thoughts that want to swirl around and get our attention. Of the 10,000 thoughts that come into our head every day, we can let most of them just keep on going. Just because it came up doesn't mean it needs our attention. It can go away. Think of all the leaves that were flying around yesterday. We didn't need to stop and look at each leaf. We had other things. So it's like the thoughts. A silly thing to say like, did you remember to lock the window? What was that person's middle name? Remember the one from 6th grade? What was their name? You know, let those things just blow away. You don't need to think right now, did we buy milk or dishwashing detergent? No. Just float. Let our mind go completely relaxed. Right here, both hands are going to float over to one side. And one just kind of float down in the water, come back up. So I exhale and it drops. Inhale, it floats back up. This hand's just going to float in, kind of like a salute. So as I exhale, it floats in. I inhale, floats out. Thank you. Sure. Exhale, you get smaller. I inhale, my balloon is bigger. Right here, I'm gonna, everything floats in and down. I exhale. Inhale back out. Right here, I'm going to turn my hip just a little bit. Comes down. Same motion we had before. One drifts down. I'm going to turn so it's going to go past my knee. The other floats away. This is where your legs can be the lunges, the two arcs of the lunge. Inhaling. Both hands are going to be over here, so we're going to start on this side. Now, we're just going to let this hand drift down. Inhale, it pops up. This one, as I exhale, it comes in. Now, all together, as I exhale and get smaller, everything comes in. I expand and everything goes out. Have the weight over here. Pivot on this heel. Turn my hip. Cute. This is called brush knee. You brush past the knee and push. I like to call it brush knee and float. We're just completely effortless, letting the water move us. Feel the water through our fingers. Here, I'm going to grab that hugging tree, slide it back to the middle again, open up the heart, back hug tree and sink the chi. My hands float up. They go open up to the heart. One of them scoops down, comes up by the other shoulder. The other one does that. We just travel across. Right here, I'm going to inhale, hands straight places, and we just float across. Waving hands in the clouds. Some people call it making clouds with the hands, just cloud hands. You get the idea. We're just floating along in the breeze, not a care in the world. We're floating along in the water, still not a care in the world. This is another one I mentioned, because throughout this whole thing, left hand crosses to the right side, right hand crosses to the left side. So we're letting the brain build new connections without thinking about it. You just move the hands, and the brain figures it out and gets stronger connections. So the body works better left side to right side. Helps our coordination, helps our balance. Besides which, it just feels nice. You have trouble getting to sleep at night or unwinding day, just doing this for about 15 minutes will help you relax. Now we're going to get all fancy with it. Right over here, this hand's going to make like a cocoon. Looks kind of like a bird or ostrich. There's a little silk cocoon, so I'm going to grab a tiny bit of silk, take a little step out, gently pull that thread of silk across. And I have a spindle that can go on. So I'm going to drop it to the spindle and inhale back across. Grab another little bit of silk, pull it out, let it drop. Inhale as I get back across. Here I'm going to let go of that hook, so both hands just go back to waving. I'm going to grab and make a hook over here. Take a tiny bit of thread and gently pull it out. Let it drift down to the spindle. Scoop under and inhale. This is called a single whip. Right here, we're going to go up and over. Just make a lazy circle. Doesn't have to be big, but we're just going to let that arm circle around. Let go of the hook. Come back and wave hands. Come over on this side and make the hook again. Have that little silk thread. Step out. Drift down to the spindle. Dropping to the spindle and going down is a great time to do that dog wags the tail. To let your hips take you from one side to the other. Hula hoop this village or something. We make the lazy circle here. Comes by, I'm gonna let go of the hook. Wave hands again. Work my feet back together, heel, toe back, whatever works for you. Take a step out. I'm gonna heel toe to get wider, just because I think it feels better. You do what feels good to you. Someone says, how far, how much, whatever feels good. That's how much, how far, how high, how low. Do what feels good to you and your body. Your body goes, I don't want to do that, then don't do it. I'm going to go up and over and do a slow motion basketball dribble. Inhale up, bending, so exhale. Now, the wind is ravaging, and the little squirrel in the tree says, I'm going to come down that tree. I'm going to go hide over there under the bushes. So we just watched the little squirrel down. Make whatever feels good to you. Let go of the hook. Work our feet back together. And wave hands again. Yeah. Come over and make the hook on this side. Take a step out. You can heel toe, get wider if you like. Use that hip. Dog wags its tail to get across. Yeah, up and over, slow motion dribble. Basketball. Heel up. Oh. Squirrel comes down the tree. Goes and hides under the bush for safety. Let go of the hook, work our feet back together. However you want to do that. Wave hands. Just feel the water. We're down there in the gorgeous water. Little tropical fish are watching us. Maybe they want to play and they just follow one hand and swim over that way. Then they swim with the other hand. That whole thing was called Snake Creeps Down, but I use squirrels. Snakes are already smart enough to be in the ground right now. Or not. You know, people's irises are blooming. Flowers are very confused. Can't blame them. We're going to open up again. This time we're going to come around and we're going to brace that moon again like we did. Hands trade places. One goes down, one comes up. This one just does a ward off, just kind of moves things out of the way. Excuse me. Again, trade places. Like those cog trains. I know they have one in Pittsburgh, the overlook of the city, where one car goes down and the other goes up the mountain. Same time, keep balance. This hand is going here. It's going to go underneath, make a big circle because it wants to hold the moon. You let it. Around here, trade places, ward off. So from embracing the moon, we'll let one hand come up, one goes down. One that's up just pushes things a little bit out of the way. It's called a ward off. It's actually like making a connection, something right there. The other hand is going to go underneath, circle around, sit in my lap, hand comes around on top, brace the moon. We do one ward off. Now both hands reach up and they just roll down the hill. There's a tow rope right here, so we just hang on to it and it takes us back up the hill. You can imagine like children's riding their sleds down the snowy Quentin Heights Hill. Luckily, there's a tow rope that takes us back up. We just roll down the hill. And this hand is going to scoop under again. Comes around to make a circle, hold the moon. It comes on top. Trade places and do one ward off. Both hands are up here and they're going to roll down this side of the hill. Rest, hang on to that tow rope and let it take us across. And flowing onto the rope however you want to. But do it gently because it's magic. It just takes us without any effort. This hand goes underneath. Makes the big circle around. Comes on top, we're embracing the moon. Do one ward off. One time we reach up and we roll down the hill. Hands both float. One keeps going, then it folds in. We let them float out over my toe. So we reach up, roll down the hill. One keeps going up, and it folds in. Let it float out and push out over the toe. Just open up my hands and bring them in close, and let them float away. Inhale. Time we're just going to open up to the heart. Come in, embrace the moon on the other side. Trade places. We do one ward off. Reach up. Both hands roll down the hill together. One keeps floating up, then it folds in. And float out over my toe. So it's like, this part's called stroking the bird's tail right there. I always think of like a peacock, 6 feet of beautiful iridescent feathers. And then another little bird starts to fly away, and I grab it, bring it back in. One that starts to fly away. That part is called grabbing the sparrow's tail. Let's let the hands float in, float back out. So we inhale, elbows bring them in, exhale. Open up to the heart. Hug the tree and sink the chi. About just a couple times to get ourselves back to neutral. Open up a little bit. Open up to the heart. One hand drifts down. I'm going to embrace the moon again. They trade places. We do our ward off. Hands reach up. Stroke the bird's tail. Dance we roll down that hill. Little sparrow flies away. We grab it and bring it back in for safety. Float over my knee. I inhale as they come in. Open up to the heart. Going to come over and embrace the moon on this side. And trade places with the hands. One ward off. Reach up. Stroking the feathers. Little sparrow flies away. Let's grab it, bring it to safety, and put it over here. Just open it, close. Push. Come back around in front. Hug the tree. Sink the tree. Take your time. Filling up with air, energy. Hold it. Let it sink throughout your body. A little bit wider stance, just we're going to inhale up. Let our hands float up overhead. Whatever is comfortable for you. Your own personal mountain. I'm going to exhale as I come back down to my heart, like a little prayer in front of my heart. Inhale back up again. Then just This time we're just going to hug the tree and sink the chi. Once more, we let our hands float up to our own personal mountain. Inhale it up. Just let everything slowly float down in the water. Inhale. Up. One more time. Hug the tree. Sink the chi. As we inhale, our hands come up gradually and slowly in front, making the International Tai Chi Salutation. One hand is my strength, the other is my patience and wisdom. Together it keeps me in balance. So I meet, greet, honor, and respect, same in you. Thank you for being here. Questions?